Toby of Communications and Engagement for Virginia PBL. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so just our quick little agenda. So we're going to talk to you guys about how to find connections when networking, and then we're going to go through what it looks like to follow up. We're going to give you guys some like actual examples that you can refer back to. And then our last little thing we're going to talk about is just kind of like what to say, like some questions. We're going to give you guys some examples. So, okay. So, oh no, here we go. Trying to orient my screen. Okay, there we go. Okay, so yeah, I think there's a lot of places, especially right now, that you guys can find connections when you're trying to like network. Your school is definitely like such a good resource for that. A lot of times like specific majors or like organizations like at your school will have like explicit networking events where they have like, you know, people coming in to talk and you guys can chat. They also will have these like panels similar to like what we do with PBL. They'll have speakers who are coming, who are also coming to our ceremony later today. And then there's round tables, and those are all super good opportunities to just like have more of those like one-on-one interactions with people. LinkedIn is also a wonderful resource, and we'll kind of like get a little bit more into that, I think, when we talk about following up. So yeah, LinkedIn is great. Feel free to like reach out, cold call on there. We have cold calling next, but cold calling on LinkedIn is cool too. I've definitely like, you know, chatted with some people over LinkedIn. I also pointed out that some schools, I know that UVA specifically does have like alumni networking sites, and those are like specific to their school, and that's where alumni kind of sign up to like be mentors to current students. So I would definitely check in for anybody who doesn't go to UVA. I would definitely check and see if your school offers something like that. And then our last kind of encouragement is that you should definitely take advantage of your school's career center. They have so many resources, and obviously like that's such a good place to start. So yeah, I know like UVA's career center is great. It's like right there in the corner, and they have tons of resources. So yeah, definitely take advantage of that. Oh my gosh, my screen. Okay.
Incredible. And so sort of after you form that connection, whether that's through like an event or something, or even if it's just like via LinkedIn and cold calling, sort of the next general step we felt was following up. And so for example, recently I interviewed for an internship, and so after sort of the interview process, like I wanted to follow up with the people and try to network with them. So at least number one, I make a good impression, but also even if I didn't end up getting that job this summer, I could sort of maybe look at it in the future. And so sort of some like basic things to highlight whenever you're following up, whether it be after a panel or whatever, is just sort of how you knew them, or like how you sort of connected into that frequently can involve your school. So saying like I'm a third year at UVA, and I attended this workshop or whatever, and like thought it was so cool. And then sort of mentioning something relating to the workshop to sort of bring them back to it. And also more broadly their work. So if they work in like management consulting, saying, oh, that was so cool to hear about that. And then sort of also like, why do you want to connect with them? You know, like what do you want to learn from them? And then finally, like asking, just doing the ask of, like, could we connect? And if it is something where you want to talk with them more, maybe do like a little informational interview to get more information about what their job is, or like how they got there, then asking if they would have time to talk. And so I have a little sample right here on the next slide. So this is like an actual thing where like I actually attended like an internship panel. This is like a real life example of how I could follow up after that. So I'll give you all like a second to read over it. Okay. So hopefully you're all able to read over that really quickly. I know I just skimmed it. And so sort of what you see is sort of that general format I was talking about, where sort of introducing myself, sort of saying I'm a student at UVA, and then the event where I ran into the person, so the Econ Career Office internship panel, and then sort of saying like what about their work I enjoyed hearing about, and also sort of what I want to learn more about. So here, investment banking, and then wanting to learn more about their journey. And then finally the ask of, would you have some time to connect next week? And I think I found like 20 minutes or 30 minutes is a good thing. And a really good tip too is providing like some time availability and saying like I could do these times, and just making it super easy for them to connect with you. And going off what Mary said earlier about LinkedIn, If you have their email, it's great to follow up via email, but really like LinkedIn is also perfect for this, because you can find like, especially business folks, like if someone's in STEM, like maybe they'll be on LinkedIn, but I think almost all business folks are on there. So just send them a little blurb like, this is perfect. Yeah, and that's it for, I think, following up.
All right, thanks, John. So I wanted to talk briefly about an elevator pitch and why it's important. So when you're networking, your elevator pitch is kind of like a brief introduction, 30 seconds, to give you a rough example or estimate of how long
Oh no, I think Christina's frozen for me. Is she also frozen for others?
Yeah, she's frozen for me too.
Okay. Oh no, we'll give her a second. We'll give her 30 seconds, just like her elevator pitch. Oh, there she is.
There she is. There she is.
Hey, Christina, I think
Wouldn't
you
that
cut out
be-
for like, I think all we heard from you was saying like starting off, like we just sort of heard you start the slide, but didn't really hear most of it.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. Is my connection better? Okay, awesome. Let me start over then. So with an elevator pitch, it is super important because this gives whoever you're speaking an idea of who you are. And again, it should be roughly 30 seconds. I mean, of course, if you have a lot to say about yourself, 30 seconds may not be enough, but make it short and sweet so that they will remember you in the future. They'll be like, okay, well, she made a good impression when she first introduced herself. I remember, oh, she likes to fish or something. Some you can include something that will make it memorable. This will help others distinguish you from the rest of the crowd. So for a short example, if I were to be meeting someone for the first time, I'll be saying, my name is Christine Bautista. I am a management information systems major at Virginia State University, and I'm pursuing a career in IT. I'm passionate about making an impact in my community through work. So that including something you're passionate about also helps because it can help direct the conversation in whichever way you or the person you're speaking with may feel is best. So other things you can include are your job experience, internship experience, volunteer work, and even what you like to do in your free time, because some people look for certain things that again will distinguish you from the rest of the crowd. And if you may even have something in common with this person, like maybe you play the piano on your free time and so does that person, then they'll remember, okay, well, Christine plays the piano just like I do. I'm gonna create conversation about that again. Okay, so and a couple questions that you can include when you're speaking to someone is, what degree do you have? So this question can be important if you are specifically talking to someone who you want to get an internship from or land a job with. So they may have connections that you're looking for. So if I were to be speaking to someone with a management information systems degree, I wouldn't know that unless I ask them. And if I have the same major as them, I can ask them a little bit about how did they like their major, what things did they learn when they were in school, because also they may not have gone to the same college as you, so they may have learned different things at their school than you would be learning at your school because of your degree. And what skills are most important for your job? So if I were talking to, for an example, a data analyst, I would want to know, and if I want to be a future data analyst, I would ask them what skills are most important for the job. So then in the future, I have learned from that person what skills I need to inherit in order to be a good candidate for that position. You guys can read down the list of questions to ask. There are plenty more than these, but these are some great ones to get you started.
Yeah, and just really quickly, actually, there's literally, if you type in like questions to ask, like networking questions, like there, I found a list of like literally 100 questions. So like, there's never like kind of like a limit on like that kind of resource. Like those are definitely available to you. So that's an awesome resource as well. Okay, so that is actually it for us. Thank you guys so much for coming. I know this was kind of like brief. We just have to make sure we get to the ceremony on time and give you guys like a second to have a little bit of a break before you guys have to join that. But that's going to be really fun. We also put our contact information on here because we would love for you guys to follow up if you have any other questions. So our emails, I'll like pause for a second in case you need to like get those down. Yeah, so just feel free to email us. You can also like in the ceremony, if you have another question, you can Zoom chat us, anything works. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the next slide. Gonna plug our social media really quickly. Yeah, so we actually have a different social media account than Virginia FBLA. So I think that's kind of an important distinction. All of our social media accounts are different. So we're most active probably on Instagram and Facebook, but feel free to follow our Twitter as well. We also on our Instagram have a link tree in our bio that, you know, kind of like encompasses all of our other resources in case you guys are ever looking for something, it's probably there. Like links to any Zoom meetings and that kind of thing. Yeah.
I can take this slide. So
Yeah,
we also would love any feedback you all are able to provide. So if you could just quickly use your like phone, I think if you just take like take a picture in the app, I think it should allow you to just sort of do this QR code really quickly and just open a quick Google form. It's